Yo, it's gonna get pretty deep tonight. Taking a dive into a little bit of everything. Let's get started. Allow me to be a mirror reflecting on how there aren't limits to your capabilities, just you, meaning you limit yourself. I'm here so you can step outside the mind's comprehension. I just want to spark you alive. Um, Being so full of love really does irritate trolls. So I see why I'm too intense for the masses. You can steal my reality, lie to me, pretend, take advantage of me, etc. You can literally take whatever you want from me, except my love. You cannot have it. I don't care who I scare off being so intense with my passion. Drown in it, baby. I don't care. It doesn't matter what's happening to me, I will still be me. Meaning, no matter what I go through, I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to stand true to myself and stand on myself and what I'm cultivated to be. Excuse me. Like, you could be around me for weeks and not even realizing I'm internalizing a whole psychological warfare completely out of my mind, psychotic. But I really do have that much self-control. So it's like, okay, the times that I have lost control, we got to look at those. Even if it's painful, we have to look at those. Because I want to psychoanalyze everything so I can figure out a solution to it. And I believe I have, because each and every day I step into myself, getting to know the parts of myself, diving deep. I was right back down in the ruins, just feeling overwhelmed with anger and sadness and injustice, and not even just for me, for everything, because I'm connected to everything. We are all connected to everything. Whether you want to believe it or not doesn't make it any less true. And I'm not sure where I was going with that. It's not like I can rewind. So hopefully I'll come back later to my thought. Oh yeah, I was in the ruins. And I just decided to validate the ruins, validate the anger, and just sulk in it, because it gets hard to constantly have to shift your anger. And it's not, like I said, it's not even just me that I'm angry at, or just my testimony. It's the testimonies of everything. Like, I'll give you an example. One of the things that bothers me is, I remember when the whole Kyle Rittenhouse trial was on TV. I didn't watch the whole thing. I caught bits and pieces of the case. I just, violence is never the answer, first and foremost. And he wasn't defending his life. He went there with a gun. His intent was very clear here. He was there to kill. And I'm watching this. This still rings in my head from some days. Obviously, it's why I'm talking about it. I was doing dishes, and the judge was talking, He was like basically celebrating him for what he did, and like thanking him for protecting the land. And he's like, and like thanking him and telling him that he has what the founding fathers put in him. And I'm like, that's disgusting. I like stopped what I was doing and I just felt instantly sick. I remember I cried about it. I was hysterical because like, how dare you? The founding fathers were corrupt and believed that slaughtering and creating war and massacre was the answer, instead of using their fucking minds to speak to one another and be rational. Like, your first thought is war for land and resources that you cannot even own nor put a price on, so it doesn't make any sense that everything's so expensive. And I'm going to keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. It doesn't make sense that everything's so expensive, and you're manipulating and exploiting us into believing that it's true. And I'm on to you. And you may be able to fool billions of people, but you can never fool me. I am watching everything and reporting on it. So anyway, it's like, how sick are you? And everybody's just watching it. And he just was so comfortable. This judge was so comfortable to act like that. The racist founding fathers, you mean? That created hate and created a false foundation of a nation. Forcing people at gunpoint to give up their belongings when this place has enough room for everybody. So why is murder the answer? Blowing up shit, making weapons of mass destruction. Why is there weapons of mass destruction? For what? Why? You have a voice, you have a mind, can you speak? Then there's no problem on this earth that can't be solved with a fucking conversation. Act like adults. Fuck you need a military for? Respect the service. I'm not trying to say anything against people who believe in it, but I'm just like, wake up. It's unnecessary slaughter. Lining up to die for what? For a false narrative. Hate to be newsflash, breaking news. Anyway, so like I said, things like that bother me. Slavery, all that stuff. And it's still like, we have not evolved as a nation. Like, how your community, like I said, your community is how you thrive as a nation and evolve, and how we have not evolved as a human race in general. And I can dive into that definitely another time. So anyway, so I came all across this post, and it just really summed up everything that I was feeling. And it said, all this anger was once love. And I am, like I said, I'm angry about all of it. And it's like, I do not want to turn bitter and become guarded. Like, and it's the feeling that signals digging within. And it's, unheard parts of you that want to be heard. So you need to listen to them. And, like a couple weeks ago, I talked with my counselor about, I was explaining to her how I, like, completely check out, and I, like, have these, like, other personalities that do things. And she's like, well, what do you mean? So we started kind of diving into it, but I was, like, kind of nervous about it, so I didn't really know. It was, like, kind of coming out scrambled. So, like, I would tell her, like, there's a part of me, like, we got more into it today And I realized, like, there's the critical part of me. I got into the critical part of me. And then I'm going to teach you this exercise here in a minute about what we walked through the parts of me. But, like, I allowed myself to be angry for a few days, like, just be in the ruins. Like, I just didn't have the strength in me to shift all of it. I just held on to it for a minute and just allowed my body to feel what it needed to feel for as long as it needed to feel it. And I'm on the other side of it now. And like so that's when I realized that she was telling me that I was disassociating. And I, like, for example, one part of me, like, goes on the prowl. Like, I know predators, go out at night. You know, they do their hunting more so at night. So, like, I would find myself, getting into character. I would have, like, certain clothes I would wear when I was in this mood. And I would, like, go on the prowl and, like, patrol around. I would drive around and, like, pray over the city. And, like, I would just, you know, if there was somebody out there in the darkness hiding in the shadows, you know, I just could be that light that could be shined upon them that would, like, maybe deter them from doing harm to somebody. Or, you know, I could be the car driving by that scares them off from breaking into someone's home and, you know, violating someone's safety. You know, and, like, I just would do that. Or I would, like, go to bars and, like, because I knew that's what weirdos would, you know, just wait on a weirdo to try to do something to me. And then I would be like, why do you feel the need to do that? Like, why do you feel like women owe you something that you can just put your hands on them without their permission? Or just expect them to do something because you buy them a drink. Don't buy them a drink if you're expecting them to give you sexual favors. It's weird. You know, what is it? And, you know, it's like, instead of trying to take advantage of women, why don't you just find, like, some freaks? Like, there's some people out there that like bondage and all that stuff. Go find you, like, some freaky people. Like, I'm not even trying to say nothing bad about them. Like, I'm saying, like, freaky freaks, kinkies. You know, stop violating people. Go find you a sex freak. So what? Go find them. They're out there. Go do porn. Stop violating people just because you're mad about yourself. That shit don't even make no sense. Like, shame on you. Shame on you. And you can't be rehabilitated. Go find you a sex freak. Stop. It's fucking wild. Anyway, so I came across this post a couple days ago, like 4 days ago or something like that, 4 or 5 days ago. And it says, disassociation takes many forms. It means I am never really present. There is always a part of my brain that is shut down. Some days this means I have no concept of time. I will function on autopilot for hours or even days at a time, and nobody else is aware I am not thinking or feeling anything. When this happens, there are subtle signs. I become withdrawn and forgetful, which to others can seem irritating or rude. And it's like, I was reading my story. I was like, holy shit, that is exactly what happens. And, like, many parts of me can come out while disassociating, creating my autopilot. Like, it seems like each part of me has an autopilot. And that's why where raising my awareness comes in, and I'm becoming more aware of the parts of me that do want to protect me because of all the things that I've endured and things that I unintentionally put myself in harm's way. But I just felt like I didn't understand this calling. But obviously, the more I develop, the more I'm understanding, the more wise I'm becoming. And it all starts with learning the parts of me. Anyway, many parts can come out while disassociating, creating on my autopilot. I can have nothing spinning around, or it's like a place I can't describe. And I think, people who've been sexually violated and just abused in general can understand what I'm talking about. It's a place you can't really describe. You just go to randomly sometimes. Or, like I said, you can have nothing spinning around or everything all at once. Everything is so loud, screaming at you. Everything wants to be heard right now, and you just become mentally exhausted. Boom, just like that, crash right off the edge. Like I said, learning myself, and I dove into my issues in therapy. Like I said, driving around all hours of the night. Some days it would be all night, and I would just be praying that they would just go home. They would just, just stop praying over the city, looking for something I could stop. I could just be a saving grace. Like I said, I could be the car driving by. I can be the loud noise that scares something off. I can be, I don't know, I just do things. Go to like the hardest part of the scariest, most dangerous parts of the city. And I'm right there trying to stop something. I had to stop because, like I said, I kept finding myself in really wild situations, and I'm just out here trying to spread some light. Stop trying to steal my light. But you can't have it. Like I said earlier, you can't have my love. You think you can take whatever you want. You can lie to me, play me, whatever. But you can never take who I am and what I stand for and my love. Never. My glow is still here. Somebody told me I look 28 the other day. I'm like, oh shit, aging backwards. Some days though, I'll be looking stressed. I look like what I've been through, and that's part of life. My hair crazy right now. Frizzy. Whatever. Anyway. Today I worked on Critical Me, and we talked it out about me trying to be better organization, have better organization, put more in the effort, don't let things pile up, because I do tend to do that. And my beast showed up. Like I said, the angry parts of me, they want to protect everything. It's seen a lot. Like I said, the beast comes out when I hear about history, the Great Depression, just anything to do with unnecessary slaughter, intentionally depriving people of resources, you name it. My beast comes out. That's why I'm going to explain it in this exercise next. And like I said, then I realized the wild animal part of me that goes on the prowl, looking for trouble, and not even really looking for trouble. I'm looking to stop it. Expose it. That's all I'm here for. But like I said, that wild animal in me puts me in situations that I definitely shouldn't be in. So I had to pause the animal so I could dive into the beast. But anyway, we worked through this exercise where you kind of draw out the parts of you You know, you kind of ground, first you want to ground yourself in your energy, you know, breathe while closing your eyes, and just, you know, when you feel extra calm. And then, you know, it's a mapping parts of you exercise, one at a time. You know, it'll help breathe life into who you're becoming. Start out by, you know, it's all about identifying. It's going to seem silly, but it actually really worked. It really helped me calm the anger and the anxiousness and be able to step back into myself. Does this part have a name? Like my beast, the wild animal, my critical part is called Brenda. It's my mom. She's very critical. I handle it a lot better now because I'm not like bleeding out. I mean, I'm still like, you know, I still have open wounds, and I think I always will. And it's just it's part of having the empathy that I have. And anyway, how how does it try to protect you? How do you feel towards it? What does it need you to know? How old is this part? And for example, like my beast, I told, when she asked me that, I thought it was kind of silly, but then I'm like, you know, it's just part of identifying feelings connecting to it. You know, it's like, okay, how old is this part? So, like, I told her, I said, I don't really know about the beast. I said, because the beast is tied to everything. Like, it's like, it's almost out of body. It's like a being from beyond. I said, because I'm angry about all the injustices, not just mine, everybody's. When I look around the world, you know, you just talk to everyday people, my friends, my loved ones. You know, I see them breaking their neck for what? Paycheck to paycheck. And I know they're grateful for everything, but it's like nobody's even getting paid their worth. Only a certain group of people are. The greedy, the corrupt, just lining their pockets with people's pain. Anyway, so like I said, that's why I told her I don't know, because I feel like the beast has been around, it's seen a lot, it's tired. But it's still going to protect everything. Like I said, it's seen so much unnecessary slaughter. My beast is like roaring. Anyway, again, identify feelings connected to it. Where do you feel it in your body? How can you show up for this part? Like, what can you do? Like, for example, the critical me, she told me to ask, you know, can I close my eyes and I ask, how can I show up in this part of me? You know, the thought came, just try to make more of an effort to not let things pile up on your bed, or, you know, put your clothes away. Don't be so in a rush, you know, this and that. And, you know, it brought me back to trusting myself to handle everything. Because critical me wants to, you know, stop everything, stop harm from coming. So it has to think of everything, what you should do instead, constantly. And that's why I said that I want more grace to come through. Because grace is me, not the critical part. The critical part is, like I said, part of that trauma in the eggshells, walking on eggshells, but creating those positive memories with yourself and other people will heal you, essentially. And like I said, it's all a natural process. Create your internal dialogue like it's someone you love. Especially if you deal with anger. It was all once love. It is, like I said, it's actually, like I said, it really helped me see that there's more parts to me. And like I said, it seems silly, but those parts of you are, like I said, are created are just your feelings. It's identifying your feelings. It's not like, or like, your feelings that lead to certain behaviors. These feelings have come from somewhere. These personas have come from somewhere where the multiple personalities come in. It's just unidentified feelings and emotions and unprocessed trauma. Process it, unpack it all. Like I said, watch my videos over and over again. I'm gonna read the questions again. I'm making sure I got all my notes. Here we go, one more time. Does this part have a name? How does it try to protect you? How do you feel towards it? What does it need you to know? How old is this part? Identify feelings connected to it. Where do you feel it in your body? How can you show up for this part? And create your dialogue like it's someone you love. Moving on, I saw this other post. Oh, I forgot this part. But when I said being so full of love, it really does irritate trolls. So I see why I'm too intense for the masses. You can steal my reality, lie to me, pretend, take advantage of me, etc. You can literally take whatever you want from me except my love. You cannot have it. I don't care who I scare off being so intense with my passion. Drown in it. I don't care. It doesn't matter what's happening to me. I will still be me. Everything has been taken from me before, again and again. And look at me still showing up. I've lost children before. Look at me still promoting faith. Like I said, I found a miscarriage. Like I said, I've lost, people I've known. And they're all, like I said, I look at all children as my children. So, like I said, I feel that loss. That's why I have to make sure that I don't take on too much, because even though I know it all exists, I know right now there is something going on. Instead of me going out there trying to rescue the world one by one, This is how I'm doing it, creating my network, bringing awareness, reporting on what others won't. That's how I fight it. Creating my blueprints to the promised land and to a naturally balanced system. That's how we win. That's how we get justice in healthy manners. Doesn't matter how big the storm is, I will always be unstoppable by rising above or coasting through it. I saw this post circulates around this today each year, and I absolutely love it. It gets me fired up because it sums me up as a person. And it says, it says, when my brother falls, I will pick him up without hesitation. We make it together or we don't make it at all. And that's just me, and it's a picture of a guy holding somebody on his back. And it's like, regardless of everything that I've been through, and there are some days where I try to figure out why people can be so cold or why things can happen the way they do. And then it just, now I forgot what I was talking about. My brother falls, I will pick him up without hesitation. We make it together, we don't make it at all. And that's me, like, I'm coming back for you. I'm coming for you, believe that. I love mine like no other. And it just really, really speaks volumes on community and no person really left behind. Get 'em. Come on. Saw another post. It's another good one. There's a guy talking about, it was a video, and it was basically about how he doesn't believe in growing apart from people. If you're authentic with each other and there's love, it's not supposed to go anywhere. And I'm like, that is so true. I believe that too. Like, I know sometimes you do outgrow people, like toxic people, but when you find somebody that you can create those healthy, positive memories with, that is so underrated. And I'm gonna hold on to it through it all. And before I go, hear all parts when they get tired of shifting anger. Allowing self to feel each part for as long as your body wants to for release. You cannot force release. It's a natural process. Everything is a natural process. You can't force it. You just have to let each stage take as long as it needs. And each time you do, it's going to take less and less time. Like, I've been in the anger stage for probably like a week. And I'm good now. Like I said, I've processed, I've shed it, like I said, it's been a whole process. And it took me a few days in the ruins to, open up to my counselor about my issues, my real, just really diving more into myself. And she's helping me process through it, walk through it. We'll do it once, and then I'll be able to do it myself. And like I said, I'm passing forward the exercise. And then, like I said, this is a random post, but I felt it was good to share because it's all about community and love anyway. And it says, have you ever heard this before? Wait till you have kids who behave just like you. I personally have a few times, and pretty much, a lot through my life, just randomly in general. Like I said, you don't realize what you're saying. And the post was, I came across this post and it said, wait till you have kids who behave just like you. I did. I have kids that are just like me. I realized how easy it was to love me, how easy it is to be kind, not belittle and humiliate. I have kids that are just like me. They won't feel my heartbreak. And for me, I see how easy it is to choose love and to just choose to love them and give them grace and teach them, and they teach you. They show you things. I mean, really, it's a whole beautiful process. And before I go for real this time, don't judge anyone on pain you haven't felt. Don't judge them on the time limit. Just be grateful that you haven't experienced that much grief or a pain so deep that some days you have your grief days. I think if you're alive, if you're a person who has awareness and are alive and put two and two together, then you'll definitely have your grief days. And that's okay. It's all part of the process. Like, I have my grief days, but I'll still be good. Like, I'm still, like I said, look at me. But like I said, part of it was the processing today in EMDR. Even though my phone went crazy today. Cut off. My phone started getting really hot and then it just cut off and shut down for like 5 minutes. It was the weirdest thing. Said when temperature got hot. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just too hot for devices. But anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Hope it helped. Feel like it was entertaining. Some good deep stuff. Get to know the parts of yourself. It's a beautiful process. Your emotions and your body will thank you. All right, I'm out till next time.